In this video, we are going to see how to paint light on objects. Now, there's many ways to create light in Photoshop, but this time in this video, we are going just to see how to add light on a surface. And that means, I don't know, you want to have some light coming from one lamp there on this wall here, or maybe light inside the lamp itself. This is what we're going to learn. So we are not going to see how to put light in the air, like, I don't know, God rays or card trays or stuff like that. That's another technique, and we're going to see this in another video. So let's see what to do. First of all, what we need, what we normally have to create first is a brush tip, a new brush tip, because the normal brush tip, which is a circle, is not enough, is not, the best way to paint light on surfaces. So what we need to do is we need to go online and search for some IS files, some IS profiles. Okay, so these is basically the shape that normally a lamp creates on a nearby surface. And so what we need to do is, we need to look for something like this. And I normally then take the photo, take the picture and bring it in Photoshop. Okay, so I can, I don't know, take this one, copy image, and then go in Photoshop, file, new file. And of course, Photoshop understand we have something saved in the clipboard, so we can click create and paste the image. Now, we don't need this part of the picture. We don't need this part of the photo. And remember that if you want to create a tip brush, you need to invert, this kind of images, because we need that black shape on a white canvas. So I'm going to invert this, Control I, and this is exactly what we need, but we don't need this area here. We don't need this part. So I put a mask in here, and I also invert the background. So if I paint black somewhere here, I will reveal the white background anyway. So what to do? I prefer to paint where I need something to be visible. So I invert the mask, everything disappear, and then I take the white value, and with a very, very soft and large brush, I paint a little bit from here just to reveal the top part, the tip of the shape of the IS light. And this could be enough for now. So what can I do? I can just go up here with a curve, and we can see if we can contrast this a little bit more. I mean, it feels like we have some pretty dark values here, so we can just contrast this. You see, there is a last information we have, it's here. And so I contrast this, putting the white value at the beginning of the curve. And so now I have a very dark, very black area there, which means the brush will be 100% visible there. Okay. So now that I'm happy with the result, I can go here and see the define brush preset is not available because we are selecting a mask. And now we have the selection on the layer itself, on the content, and we can do the fine brush preset, and we can click on OK. And now we have this brush, and it will work fine. And we can also rotate this brush, you see. And if you want, before creating the brush, remember the trick I told you in the other video, you can rotate this 100 degrees. 90 degrees anti-clockwise, and then again define the brush preset once again. And in this way you will be able also to squeeze the brush, you see, in this way, to create different kind of shapes. And it's up to you. If you don't want to go with an IS file, you can anyway create something like this by using a normal brush in Photoshop. But normally I work with a larger canvas. Anyway, you can paint just a circle, a very blurred circle here on a white canvas. Okay, a little bit smaller maybe. Okay, good. And then you convert this to a smart object, and you Control T to get the anchors, right click, and then perspective. And once you take one of the pins here, see, the brush goes in perspective and create this kind of shape that remember me of a yes file. And then I press enter, and I can use this one as a brush tip if I want. So one way or the other, or both, okay? Or you can, keep going online and searching for other shapes. And I don't know, you can have a library of 10, 20 different shape for the light. Now, once you got it, what to do? You go back on the PSD file. And now, for example, what I want to do is to paint some light here, because on the ceiling we have a few spotlights. So for now, I just hide the Windows glasses, okay, so I can see better. And in the same folder, okay, adjustment, I make a new group here. Okay, good. And this is the inner wall. And I'm going to search for the right mask. So I'm going to masks, and I'm looking for this kind of wood wall. Here we go. Blue channel. We add the mask there. And now the trick is this. You need to create a black layer. So a new layer, fill it black. And then it goes in color dodge mode. Now, color dodge is perfect. This is the perfect blending mode to paint light. And the reason is when you paint light in color dodge, the fringe of your selection, the fringe of your painted, area will burn and will kind of create a sort of nice gradient with a little bit of color, and it really looks like you have some light on the object. Okay, so now I'm painting with a normal brush, as you can see, no shapes. I put a slightly yellow color, pretending we have some warm temperature on those lamps on the ceiling. And if I paint here, you see, I just with one stroke, that's the result. So long story short, when you paint on a black layer in color dodge because you want to paint some light, the rule is the opacity need to be as low as possible, okay? Of course, the lower, the more, thick you need to do with the mouse, but it's better because you will get to the end result little by little without mistakes, okay? So for example, now I'm making this like 3% and I start painting, okay? This is just a test, nothing, final, but as you can see, it works very, very nicely, okay? And it looks like there is a light pointing there, okay? And because we have so many of these lamps in this area, I can paint a little bit there, a little bit, here, and try to make something like, pretend we have some lamps pointing on there. You can have some problems here, like you see, depending on the mask, you can have some white fringes. That's normal, and you can fix it later if you want, or maybe it's a problem about the mask itself, or maybe it's a problem about the preview that Photoshop is able to give you, and is going away when you merge everything in just one layer for the final image. So you can do a test. You can go up here and press Ctrl+Alt+Shift+E. If you still have the same problem, then you need to solve it, but most of the time it basically goes away. And this time we have no luck. We still have the problem. So you can choose to not make this area so bright. And to delete this light we just painted, you need to paint with black color. Okay, so don't use the erase tool. Erase tool doesn't exist anymore for you guys. You can paint black. Okay, and it's probably a matter of masks, so we can just try to fix the mask, and that's it. Anyway, if you want to use the tip we just created, you need to go and select it, and then you can rotate it, and then of course again with the same yellow color. I mean, it doesn't matter if you play with the same layer. You can have as many layers you want. Like, I mean, this black layer in color dodge. So if you feel like that you did something that you like and you don't want to touch it anymore, just create a new layer, fill black, color dodge, and do the next thing on another layer. So this is what I'm going to do, you see. And the trick here normally that I use is this. I keep the opacity as it is, okay? I don't touch the opacity, and I start with a big shape, okay? This is the trick. You start from big shape. Now, I don't know how big it should be, okay? I can just go like this. And you can, of course, rotate it in order to match the rotation of the lamp. And then the only thing you will do is a little bit, you start pressing, you start painting with the mouse or the pen, like little by little. And the only thing you want to do is to go down with the shape. And as you go down with the size, of the shape, the only thing you need to do to remember is that the mouse should, should stay in the same place. I mean, you see, before I was like this, and the starting point of the brush was there at the top of this, close to the lamp. If you go down with the size, you stay in the same place. Okay, you don't move from there, and as long as you go down with the size, and the area will be brighter. And of course, the area should be brighter up close, where the lamp touch with the light, touch the wall for the first time, for the, close to the lamp. So it makes sense to be like this, okay? And this is just one example, okay? And if you don't like the result, remember, don't keep the layer 100% opacity, but just go down, okay? Go down with the strength and try to find the right amount, okay? And of course, if you do this in this way, I painted this area here, this IS light on a brand new layer. You can just duplicate the layer, Ctrl J, and then move it around, you see, and rotate it. Now, if it's better, it's easier if you want, instead of having like the whole layer now black, you can just make a selection here, select the area just around the lamp, the light, the painted light, and press Ctrl J. So instead of having the whole layer filled by black, you have only one small area, and then it's easier to move, it's easier to rotate. You see, Ctrl R, we get the anchors close to us, and you can do a much better work, and in a very short amount of time. You can squeeze it a little bit, and you can really play with this. And if you want to change the color of the light, you can press Ctrl U to get the use duration, but this is destructive, okay? So, I mean, this is just one way to do that. Or you can have an adjustment, use duration, and link it to the layer beneath, and that's it. And that's not destructive, okay? So you see now it's a little bit more reddish, the light. It's up to you, okay? It's up to you. Remember that anyway, there's only one thing you need to avoid as hell. The black areas in the layer with color dodge need to stay black. So don't dare to do like this, okay, to make it brighter, because you will immediately see the edges of, the shape. So don't touch the brightness, never. And of course, I mean, never go up with the brightness. And if you go down with the brightness, it will disappear. It's the same of going down with the opacity, same result, okay? And for example, another thing we can do here, I mean, now this is too strong, and so I'm going down with the strength here. I don't know why, but we tend to exaggerate. The best thing you can do is to do this with a reference. Anyway, I'm going here, for example, because I want to paint some stronger light in the lamp. And so what I'm doing here is I take a brush like this, medium hardness, and then I squeeze it like this, you see, to get the same shape. And then with the low opacity, I start painting, and after a while, it will get like very, very bright and kind of it looks like the light inside the lamp is stronger. And if this layer now is 58% opacity, I will make a new one, and I will, color dodge again, and then I will paint this one a little bit more. It's okay to have some areas, some overexposed areas, because that's a white lamp, and you should. Oh, this is not visible because you see I'm painting on an inner wall folder. My bad, my bad. You see, it was strong anyway. And it's better to, sometimes it's better to hide the result, or to make it weaker with a black color instead of going down with the opacity, because of how the color dodge works. Opacity kind of wash away the effect, while if you paint with black, you get some saturated color anyway, which is a lot better. And if you look at photos of lamps, if you take a photo with your phone at directly looking at a lamp on your head, maybe you're sitting down, and then you have some lamps on the ceiling, you will see that through the camera, something happens where the light is very strong. And so what happens is the light basically gets out of the shape of the lamp, like, I don't know, a little bit like this. And if you want to do a better job, is you make a squeezed brush tip, and you paint a little bit like this with a stronger color, I would say. So light should come out from the lamp sometimes, and just for a little bit. And that's part of the one of the problems. It's something that happens when you take a photo, okay, or of something. And then on the top here, we need to paint some glow, but this is another thing, another video, and it's another technique, okay? If you don't like something, like, I don't know, now I don't like it, I want to do this again, you can delete the layer, or you can just paint the layer completely black, and you can start all over. And with a better shape, or another color. See, this is too big, so I need to squeeze this a little bit more. Okay. And of course, because we have some light there, stronger light, we should have some stronger light even here on the top of the table. Okay, so we should look for the mask of the table. I don't know if we have it, but if we have it, it's better, because we can just paint over the table without interfering with the chairs. And so it's a lot, it would be a lot better. Okay. With the same technique, I normally, try to increase a little bit the strength of light everywhere in the scene, or at least where I want the eyes to go. For example, here we have some light passing through the entire, house and reaching that area. So you can go there, and just one click, and it gets a lot better. It gets a lot, brighter. And you can do the same, on other areas of the scene where, you want to, I don't know, I would say make everything brighter. Like, I don't know, you see this. Now this, if you want to make this, you should have a new group here with the proper mask. Here we go. Green. Black layer. Color dodge. And now I want to pick a less. The color is too visible. if you go up with the saturation. So now I want just to, you know, make this area brighter. I can even select this area here and, you know, focus on this area because I have this main mask on the top that's top. See? And you can even go with Ctrl U on the same selection and desaturate it, you see, and only the light strength will, the light color strength will go down. You see? And this area is completely, you know, without light. But if I start doing it, see, it get brighter. And again, you know, this color is too strong, so I'm going down with the opacity. And then you can also mask, you know, invert the mask and paint white with a strong opacity where you like the effect. See? And after you end up, you can restore the glasses. And that's it. Now you have some lights on the inside. And this trick works well even on trees, because sometimes, I don't know, you want to make something like a little bit brighter. And then, you know, you take this, the color of the light source, the sun in this case, and then you see, no, this is too much. You need to go back on a very low opacity. And you see, you can just make some areas brighter. And it works very, very well. Okay? Your turn to try.